It's not bad. It's Palmer again.
This is the Extratime.com League of Ireland Voice Notes podcast, and yes, I'm aware that it's a little bit self-indulgent to start my own podcast with a clip of me commentating, but that was the big moment of the night from Tallaght, where St. Pat's overcame Sabah of Azerbaijan by 1-0 in the Europa Conference League third qualifying round first leg. It could and probably should have been a bigger win for St. Pat's. We'll get analysis from Keith Treacy shortly. We'll also hear from St. Pat's player Anto Breslin. First, let's see how Shamrock Rovers got on. They lost 1-0 away to Celje, so it's all to play for them in the second leg. Watching this one for us was former Shamrock Rovers, St. Pat's and Bows goalkeeper Barry Murphy, and afterwards he sent us this voice note.
Thanks, Oisin. It's been a busy few weeks for Shamrock Rovers. They kept their hopes of 5-0 just about alive on Friday night, beating Waterford in the RSC. And as they would have sat down to a pre-match lunch today, they found out they came on the wrong side of the appeals panel decision relating to the perceived infringement by Bohemians in playing midfielder Dawson DeBoy in the FAI Cup clash. Rovers, who were knocked out of the Champions League qualifier by Sparta Prague, were in Slovenia to face Celje tonight, who are backed by Russian millionaires, managed by former Arsenal player Albert Riera. He one of 8 managers to take the reins in the last 4 years. Celje were themselves knocked out of the Champions League second round, losing 6-1 on aggregate to Slovan Bratislava. All the talk before the game was not only the injury to Johnny Kenny and the capture of Scotland international striker Mark McNulty, but also the state of the pitch in the Stadion de Zelle. State of League of Ireland pitches has been a hot topic over many years, but this is right up there with the worst of them, with Shamrock Rovers lodging a complaint to UEFA right before the game. 10 seconds into the action, those complaints were compounded when Dylan Watts broke through, and just before striking the ball, it took a horrendous bobble, which meant he caught it on the shin guard and not the laces, and it went high and wide. On the 15th minute, Cooks broke down the left-hand side for Celje and pulled it back from Matko, the Slovenian top scorer and player of the year last season, who shot back across Poles into the bottom right-hand corner, but Poles brilliantly kicked his feet out from under himself to allow him to react fast and low to his right-hand side and get a strong hand to turn around the post. 2 minutes later, another brilliant save from Poles, this time from Kvesic's scuff shot, fell straight to Manolo, and he found himself on a tight angle, one-on-one with Poles, who spread himself brilliantly and made the block. Rovers didn't heed those warnings, however, and 5 minutes later, it was that man Manolo who nicked it off Hoare before nutmegging him, cutting into the box. Trevor Clark tried to close down, but didn't get close enough for fear of pulling him down in the area, and he got a shot off between the legs of Pico Lopez into the bottom right-hand corner past the hapless Poles. Dylan Watts had a tame effort late on in the first half, but was easily saved, and that was it for half-time. After the half-time break, former Newcastle winger Rolando Aarons was introduced by Riera, as was Darragh Burns from the Shamrock Rovers bench. Rovers pressed and looked far more dangerous in the early sparring in the second half, but it took until the 70th minute and the introduction of Aaron McAniff to get in behind the Celje defence, and he bore down on goal from the right-hand side, forcing Celje keeper Stubjar into an excellent save at his near post. Rovers had a couple of half chances from set pieces and showed enough going forward to keep Celje honest and not commit numbers forward. And so on the night, it finished Celje 1, Shamrock Rovers 0. It sets up perfectly for a huge crowd and a huge night in Tallaght next week. And if you can't get there, you can watch it with myself and Colin Murphy on League of Ireland TV.
Barry Murphy's view on Shamrock Rovers' 1-0 defeat away to Celje. Celje, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Hopefully Shamrock Rovers can knock them out and get the win next week anyway. As I speak to you, I'm in a very, very, very rainy car park at the Square in Tallaght. First came here in 1993 to watch Jurassic Park. What a movie that was. And at the time, the Square in Tallaght was like something space age. It was like we had landed on Mars. It wasn't like any other shopping facility or any other facility in Ireland. It was amazing. And I'm still kind of, sounds weird, still kind of in awe when I come here. I remember on a school tour, a few of us getting kicked off escalators because we just kept going up. And we didn't have them in Waterford. Don't judge me. Right, Keith Treacy has been on plenty of escalators in his time. He took the steps up to the commentary position at Tallaght Stadium last night as you listen. St. Pat's with a 1-0 victory against Sabah, the goal coming from Ramal Palmer. We'll hear from Anto Breslin shortly, but first let's get analysis with Keith Treacy.
Yeah, I think the Pats fans will be relatively happy overall. It definitely took a 1-0 at the start of the night, but given how the night went, with the sending off and having the numerical advantage for so long in the game, and how largely comfortable they were. They were much the better team, the better chances, one or two headers, Redmond hit the post. Mulroney had a header he should have done better with. El Bouzebbi had a good shot saved. They had a whole host of chances. St. Pat's just hoping now in the second leg they don't rue those missed chances.
There does seem to be a sense of disappointment from the Pats players as we look at them coming over towards the Pats fans. Well, there's Pats fans all over the stadium, but the most vocal ones are just off to our right here.
Yeah, well look, I think the Pats players will be happy with the 1-0 win, and most importantly, it's a little bit of a step into the dark to play against this Sabah team. They've gone out there now, they felt their power. I think it will go up a level now next week when we go to Azerbaijan, but they felt Sabah's power, and I don't think it's anything to be afraid of.
It certainly isn't. Palmer with another goal for St. Pat's. He's played well in recent weeks since he's returned to fitness. We've really seen the best of him. The St. Pat's players being applauded by the St. Pat's fans, and that's only right because it was a good shift. It was a very professional display.
Yeah, really professional. Our possession excellent, the best shape I've seen Pats this season. Our possession really good. Soberg at right back was excellent. Jamie Lennon brilliant. Forrester excellent. Ramal Palmer is getting better with every game we see him. Mulroney really good in Europe, and as we say, El Bouzebbi, the two wingers. Even Aidan Keena, I know he only played 45 minutes, but he hasn't had a lot of football into his legs, and he seems to be getting better. So the indicators for Pats are very good. Just need to see it more on a more consistent basis.
I'm not sure if you could see it there, but in the stadium, Stephen Kenny, as he walked over towards those kind of very vocal Pats fans, did crack a smile. He looks happier now than he did at full time, and well, those players look happy enough. Soberg was getting the nice treatment from Stephen Kenny as they walked off with the arm around him, and they look happy enough now. Let's have a look at the highlights. Here is the goal, the winning goal.
Again, it's Mulroney. You can look at it and think it's poor defending from a Sabah point of view, but he's earned the right. The fact that they're so loose defensively with him is because they're afraid of him. But Ramal Palmer see what Mulroney wants to do on the wing. He makes that brilliant run from the middle of the pitch. Timing is superb. Contact on the ball is excellent. Hits the back of the net. Really good third man run from Palmer.
And a really good finish.
Lovely finish, yeah. Doesn't try and do too much with it. Just prods it towards the goal. Gets enough contact on it, but the quality on the ball in from Mulroney was brilliant. It allows Palmer not to have to do too much with it. Brilliant goal.
They created a lot of chances after this. Sadly couldn't take any of them, but this is a goal. Well, we don't know yet how important it could be, but it could be massive for St. Pat's. If they get a scoreless draw away in Azerbaijan or somehow get through the tie, that goal could be one to remember for the Pat supporters.
Yeah, I think so, and that's something that will definitely be referenced when they go away next Thursday. Look lads, a draw here gets us through. That's all they need to know. A draw, a win, and they're through to the next round. It will be difficult, it'll be hot, it'll be humid, but Pats have proven tonight they're more than a match for Sabah.
And they can, as we say, create chances over there because they can sit deep and attack with pace. We've seen that tonight, we've seen it in the last number of games.
Of course, yeah, it's up to Stephen Kenny if he wants to stick with the possession-based style of play, or does he want to be on the back foot a little bit more and invite Sabah onto them. And then, as we know, we can get Mulroney, El Bouzebbi on the ball and really eat up the ground and maybe play a little bit more counter-attacking style of football over there. It might be the way to go, as I say, given the heat and the humidity over there, but I'm sure Stephen and his staff will start chatting about that straight away.
Anto, when you're my age, you look at any League of Ireland club winning in Europe and think to yourself, it's a good win. I know it could have been more, but primarily, are you happy with the result?
Yeah, of course. Listen, before the game, if you had said we take a 1-0 league on over there, we probably would have took it. Well, listen, we probably had chances to win 3, maybe 4-0, do you know what I mean? But again, listen, as I said, if you had told us before the game you can take a 1-0 lead over, I'm sure a lot of us would have took it.
You adapted relatively quickly, although they had a very, very fast start. What were you thinking after maybe 1-2 minutes?
Yeah, listen, I don't think we had the greatest of starts. They came out like a house on fire. But then I think we controlled the game after that. I think we got the ball down, we played really well. Then the second half, obviously, I think we dominated a lot of the possession. I know the sending off, but even before that, I feel like we were the better team in the second half, and I think we looked like the team that was going to score.
Talk me through the goal and the view you had of it on the pitch.
Yeah, listen, it was Ramal, Jake actually swapped wings and he came on, he delivered a great ball, and Ramal done really well getting into the box. Do you know what I mean? That's what we want. We want our 10s, our strikers getting into the box. And listen, we know when Jake and Zach are on the ball, that delivery more than likely is going to be good, so they just have to get in there and gamble, and Ramal took his chance really well.
It is very noticeable how confident ye all are on the ball. Where does that come from?
Yeah, listen, it was just, we've always had that confidence, and we know the dressing room, we've had good players in, and then the gaffer's come in obviously and just put a lot of confidence in us and the style of play, and I think he's got our best players in our best positions, and there's a lot of confidence with the lads there, but no, listen, he's given us a lot of confidence, and hopefully it continues.
It's noticeable as well. I mean, you always overlapped and attacked high and all that, but it's noticeable now that you seem to be starting in higher positions up the pitch. Is that something you enjoy, that kind of attacking? Well, I was going to say fullback role, but I don't know. Are you a wing back now? Are you a winger now? Whatever you call yourself, you are starting from higher positions. Are you enjoying that?
Yeah, listen, I'm enjoying my football at the moment. I'm playing relatively well. I think me and Jake are starting to get a good relationship down that side. My causing things a bit of problems. No, listen, I'm enjoying my football since the gaffer came in. He's some fresh ideas, some really good ideas, and I'm just buying into what he wants me to do, and hopefully I can stay in the team and just kick on now.
And they mightn't always come, but it is noticeable that you're making those kind of underlapping runs when Jake is going out wide. No doubt you're enjoying that, and sometimes you don't get a reward in the sense that the ball doesn't come to you, but it's not the only way to look at it or judge it, is it? No,
listen, we're trying to get our best players on the ball, and if we can make a run to get our better players on the ball, well, then I'll do that, you know what I mean? I know how dangerous our attacking players are, and they're unselfish runs, I suppose they're called, you know what I mean? So I'll make them all day if it means he can cross balls in, we can score goals.
Away in Azerbaijan next week, but there is the hurdle of going to Galway first. Now, that's a huge game as well, because it's an outside shot, but it is a shot that you could qualify for Europe through the league this year. I know it's difficult, but it's not impossible. But Galway are also vying for that, so that's going to be difficult on Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah, listen, that's the way we're looking. We're looking up, do you know what I mean? We're in a good vein of form at the minute, and we win there. We're only 3 points off them, do you know, and we know how difficult it's going to be. It's going to be a tough game up there. When we started the season, the pitch wasn't great. I'm sure it's a lot better now, but we know what they bring. They bring long balls, they bring energy, they're a hard working team, and they're very effective at what they do. But we're in a good vein of form. We're playing really well at the moment. A lot of teams probably don't want to play us at the minute, you know. So now we're looking forward to Sunday. We haven't really talked about Thursday yet. It's all about Sunday, and hopefully start climbing up that table. And as you said, it's not impossible to get that European spot, and that's what we're going for.
I know you'd probably rather the break, but look, the game is on. For players, do you have to look at the positive of, look, we're just playing games at the moment? It means maybe you have to do less training, and it's just all about playing at the moment.
Yeah, listen, this is what you want. You want to be playing every few days, do you know what I mean? We're in a fortunate position that we're in Europe and we're doing well, and listen, the league has to be done, do you know what I mean? But we can't let it affect our performances, do you know? That's what we have the squad for. I'm sure lads will come in on Sunday and they'll do well and trying to take that place for Thursday then, do you know? So as I said, we're looking up and hopefully trying to get them European spots.
And just before I let you go, on tonight again and looking ahead to next Thursday, the European nights are they're just special. There's a different kind of atmosphere, a different kind of electricity maybe about the place.
Yeah, it's excellent. Listen, the fans have been excellent with us. Probably haven't given them a lot to shout about this year, but they've stuck by us, you know. Even here in Tallaght rather than Richmond, you know what I mean? It's still a great atmosphere. It is, it's a different buzz, you know what I mean? Everyone knows they're different games, but listen, we all enjoy it, and we hopefully it just keeps on rolling into one week after another.
Anto, best of luck on Sunday and then Thursday.
Thank you very much.
Anto Breslin of St. Pat's, and before him Keith Treacy on the Saints 1-0 win against Sabah last night. We also spoke a bit about St. Pat's trip to Galway on Sunday afternoon. A Sunday afternoon 3 o'clock kickoff. How old school is that? We will have the second leg, by the way, on a stream for St. Pat's fans or any other supporters who want to watch it. Keep an eye out on the St. Pat's social media channels for details on that stream. They're away in Azerbaijan next Thursday. Sadly, Keith and I won't get to go. We'll be doing it off tube in Dublin. I hope the weather will be nicer that night than it is tonight. It's absolutely horrific. It's like a November night when it's only August. Keep an eye out on extratime.com tonight for previews and reviews of all the games that are taking place. You'll also be able to catch up on all the fixtures. We'll be back next Thursday with the Voice Notes podcast to catch up on the European action. Hopefully it'll be a good night for the Irish team, Shamrock Rovers and St. Pat's. And Luke will be along, I think, Monday, Tuesday, with a deep dive into everything that's happening in the league over the weekend. As always, you can contact me on at Oisin Langan. We also have a WhatsApp number for extratime.com. And as I've already mentioned, I'm talking to you from a car park in Tallaght. So I don't have that WhatsApp number in front of me, but you can find it by going to extratime.com. From myself and all the team, which is just me, bye-bye.